Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. So in today's class we are going to discuss multiple choice questions from the chapter factors and multiples. Okay. Now coming to the first question for today. Which of the following is an example of co-prime numbers? And the options we have are 2, 6, 4, 9, 11, 33 and 3, 9. Now what are co-prime numbers, children? Co-prime numbers are two numbers who share only one as their common factor. Yes, when we have two numbers, they need not be prime numbers. They can be composite as well. But they have only one common factor, that is 1. 1 is their only common factor. Then we call such numbers as co-prime numbers. Yes, if we look at option A, 2, 6 have 1 and 2 as their common factors. Yes. Now B, 4, 9 have only 1 as their common factor. See, the factors of 4 are 1, 2, 4. The factors of 9 are 1, 3 and 9. What are the common factors they share? Only 1 is their common factor. So option B becomes our correct answer. Okay children? Now here C 11 and 33 have 1, 11 as their common factors. 3, 9 have 1 and 3 as their common factors. So what is our correct answer? Option B. Option B, 4, 9 is our correct answer. Next question. Which of these is an example for twin primes? Now what are twin primes, children? Yes, it is important that you do not get confused between co-primes and twin primes. As I said, twin primes are two prime numbers. The given numbers have to be prime numbers, children. And what is the condition? Their difference should be 2. The difference between the given two prime numbers should be 2. Now if we look at our options here, option A, 11 and 15. 15 is not a prime number, so that cannot be our answer. Option B, 17 and 23. Both are our prime numbers, but their difference is not 2. Now coming to C, 3 and 7. Now again both are our prime numbers, but their difference is not 2. Now lastly we have 11 and 13. Yes, both are our prime numbers and even the difference between them is 2. So 11 and 13 are an example of twin primes, children. Understood? Next question 3. Observe the following. 1 into dash is equal to 30, 2 into dash is equal to 30, 3 into dash is equal to 30 and 5 into dash is equal to 30. What is the sum of all the missing factors of 30? Yes, we are missing some factors here. What are they? We have 1 30s are 30. Then we have 2 15s are 30. We have 3 10s are 30 and then 5 6s are 30. Yes, now if we add all these together, 30 plus 10, 40. 40 plus 15 will give us 55, children. Now 55 plus 6 will give us 61 as our sum of missing factors. So option D, 61 becomes our correct answer. Yes. Next question 4. What is the product of common factors of 10 and 15? Now what do we want? Product of common factors of 10 and 15. Now for 10 we have these 4 factors. Yes, 1 10s are 10 and 2 5s are 10. Now for 15 we have 1 3 5 and 15. Yes children. Now what are the common factors here? 1 and 5 are the common factors. Now we should find out their product. Product is nothing but we have to multiply. Yes, 1 into 5 is equal to 5. Option B, 5. So the product of common factors of 10 and 15 is what, children? 5. Yes, next question 5. Study the given factor tree. One of the factors in the tree is wrong. Identify it. Normally we write the factor tree like this, right? Yes, 48 can be split as 2 into 24. Yes, children, the same tree is written upside down here for your convenience. Yes, if you are confused by this, you can write the normal version of it. Yes, we have 2 into 24, 48, it is correct, and then 24 is split as 2 into 12. Yes, then 12 is again split as 2 6 are 12. Now 6 is split as 2 3s are 6. This is our correct factor tree. Now if you look at the factor tree given in the question, yes, 2 and 24 are correct. Then we have 2 and 12. We have 2 and 6. And lastly, 6 can be factorized as 2 3s are 6. But here we are having 2 2s are 2 2 2s are 4. 2 2s are not equal to 6. So this is wrong. This part 6 is equal to 2 into 2 is wrong. So option A becomes our wrong answer. Understood, children? So I have written the factor tree and compared it with the factor tree given in the question. Upon that we found out that the factors of 6 are given wrongly. Okay, now moving on to question number 6. Which of the following statements is correct? Yes, we have to study the statements and then tell which one is correct. Coming to 1, 3 is a factor of 32, children. See, we know for a number to be divisible by 3, the sum of the digits, that is 3 plus 2 is equal to 5, should be a multiple of 3. Is 5 a multiple of 3? No. So 3 is not a factor of 32. So the statement is false. Next, statement 2. 20 and 32 have 3 common factors. Now if we write the factors of 20, 1, 2, 4, 5, 10 and 20. Now coming to 32, we have 1, 2, see we have 132s, we have 2 16s, it does not come in 3 table, no. So we have 4 8s are 32. Yes, children, it does not come in 5 table, it doesn't come in 6 as well. So that is it. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 and 32. Now if you look at the common factors, we have 1, 2 and 4. We have how many common factors, children? We have 3 common factors. So 20 and 32 have 3 common factors is a correct statement. Because 1 is wrong, 2 is correct. Now coming to 3, 63 has only 2 factors other than 1 and itself. Now if you look at the number 63, the factors are 163s are, then we have 321s are, and then it comes in 7 9s are 63 as well. Yes, 9 7s are 63. But here what are they saying? Apart from 1 and itself, it has only 2 factors. But it has more than 2 factors. So 3 is also wrong. Now coming to statement 4, 7 is a factor of 46. This is also wrong. Yes, 7 is not a factor of 46. Now which is the correct statement? Only statement 2. So option B, 2 only becomes our correct answer. Next question. Which of these is a common factor of 42 and 84, children? Now there are 2 ways to find out the answer. First way is to list out all the factors of 42 and 84. We have 142s are, we have 221s are, we have 314s are, and then it doesn't come in 4 table. So we have 6 7s are 42. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 21 and 42. Now in the same way we have to write the factors for 84. It comes in 1 table, 2 table, 3 table. Yes. So like this we have to write all the factors of 42 and 84 and then circle the common factors. 7 is the common factor for both. 7 is the common factor for both 84 and 42. 7 6 are 42 and 7 12s are 84. Understood? Now another way to find out is take each of the number. Option A is 13. So first divide 42 by 13. Yes children, we have 13 fours are 42. Yes, and when we subtract 0 will be our remainder. Yes or no? So 13 is a factor of 42. Now coming to 84. 84 is not completely divisible by 13. So 13 is not a common factor for 42 and 84. Next, coming to the number 7. We have 7 6 are 42. The remainder becomes 0. And then when 84 is divided by 7, we have 7 ones are 7, 14, 7 twos are 14 again. The remainder is 0. So 7 divides both 42 and 84 completely. So 7 becomes our common factor, children. Understood the two ways of finding which of these is a common factor. First, you can list out both the common factors of both the numbers, or else you can take each number and check whether it is a common factor or not. Next, question 8. What is the difference between the fifth multiple of 7 and the seventh multiple of 5? Now what is the fifth multiple of 7? It is nothing but 7 into 5. Yes children, how do we find the multiple of a number? We multiply it with another number. Yes. So the fifth multiple of 7 becomes 7 into 5. And the seventh multiple of 5 is 5 into 7. 7 5s are 35 and again 5 7s are 35. What will be the difference be children? 35 minus 35 is equal to 0. So 0 becomes our answer. Yes, be it the fifth multiple of 7 or the seventh multiple of 5, both are the same. So that is why when we find out the difference, it will be our 0. Next, question 9. What is the product of the first 6 multiples of 4? See, if you look at the options, we are not actually finding out the product. We are just writing all the first 6 multiples of 4 in a multiplication form. What are the first 6 multiples of 4? 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12, 4 fours are 16, 4 5s are 20 and 4 6 are 24. Yes, these are our first 6 multiples. Now product means we have to multiply. So 4 into 8 into 12 into 16 into 20 into 24. Option C. This becomes our product of first 6 multiples of 4. Understood children? Next, question 10. Which is the greatest among the following? Now the first one is the third multiple of 9. It is nothing but 9 into 3, that is equal to 27. Fifth multiple of 4. So 4 into 5 is equal to 20. Then we have seventh multiple of 3. So 3 into 7 is equal to 21. Next we have fourth multiple of 6. 6 into 4 is equal to 24. Yes, now we have got all the numbers for the given statements. Now which is the greatest among the following? 27 is the greatest among the following. Here 27 is nothing but our third multiple of 9. So option A becomes the greatest among the following. Next, question 10. The smallest non-zero multiple of a number is dash. See, if we look at the multiples of any number, say the multiples of 2, they start with 2, 4, 6 and so on. When we say the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9 and so on. What are you observing? What is the smallest multiple of each number? It is the number itself. Non-zero means the number should not be 0. Yes, 2 and 3 are both non-zero numbers. So from this, what we can observe is that the smallest non-zero multiple or the smallest multiple for every number will be the number itself. So option C, the number itself becomes the correct answer. No matter however big the number be, even if we take 12, the first multiple would be 12 ones are 12, then we have 12 twos are 24 and so on. So what is the smallest multiple of a number, children? It is the number itself. Next question. The numbers in the box are the multiples of a number. Identify the number. Now what do we have? 14, 35, 41, 21, 63, 42 and 28. These are the multiples of what? We have 7 twos are 14, 7 threes are 21, 7 fours are 28, 7 fives are 35, 7 six are 42, 7 sevens are 29. Yes, 7 sevens are 49. Yes, children, 7 nines are 63. So all the given numbers are multiples of our number 7. All the given numbers are divisible by 7. So they are our multiples of 7. Next, study the given multiples of two numbers. What is the product of the two numbers? See, here we are having two boxes. Now the numbers in the box are 27, 18, 15, 81 and 9. These are the multiples of which number, children? These are the multiples of 3. 3 threes are 9, 3 fives are 15, 3 six are 18, 3 nines are 27. Yes. So all these are our multiples of the number 3. And when it comes to this triangle, we have 6, 4, 18, 12 and 10. These are the multiples of 2. Yes, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, 2 fives are 10, 2 six are 12 and 2 nines are 18. So the numbers in the square are the multiples of 3 and the numbers in the triangle are our multiples of 2. Now what should we do? What is the product of the two numbers? So we should find the product of these two. 3 into 2 is equal to how much? 6. So the product of the given numbers is 6. 3 twos are 6. Yes, the multiples of these are the multiples of 3 and these are the multiples of 2. So we need to find out the product of these children. 3 and 2. So 3 twos are 6 is our answer. Next question. Which of the following is the first common multiple of 3 and 4? If you write down the multiples of 3, 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, 3 threes are 9, 3 fours are 12, 3 fives are 15. Then if you write the multiples of 4, 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12, 4 fours are 16 and 4 fives are 20. Now here we've got our first common multiple, that is nothing but 12. So option A, 12 is our first common multiple or also you can say it as our LCM. That is nothing but our least common multiple. Yes, it is 12. Next question 15. Find the sum of second common multiple and the first common multiple of 4 and 5. See, we have the multiples of 4 as, so let me write the multiples of 5 first. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And then coming to the multiples of 4, 4, 8, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36 and 40. Yes, we have got two common multiples. So I am stopping here. The first common multiple is 20 and the next common multiple is 40. Yes, children, 20 and 40. Now what should we do? We should find out the sum. Sum means nothing but we have to add our First and second common multiples 20 and 40. 20 plus 40 will give us 0 plus 0, 0, 4 plus 2, 6. So 60 is the sum of first and second common multiples of 4 and 5. Understood, children? Yes. Now coming to question 16. Which of the following is the smallest prime number greater than 50? Now what should we do? We know what is a prime number, right? Yes. Prime numbers are nothing but the numbers which have only two factors, 1 and itself. 1 and itself. Now if you look at prime numbers after 50, we need a prime number which is greater than 50, right? And not just any, the smallest prime number greater than 50. That means immediately after 50, the next prime number is 50 is not a prime number, but when we look at the prime numbers, the prime numbers greater than 50 are 53. The first prime number that is greater than 50 is 53, children. So option A, 53 becomes our correct answer. Okay. Or else if you look at the given options, yes, 53 is a prime number, 50 is not a prime number, 47 is less than 50. Yes, we want a number that is greater than 50, so it cannot be our answer. Next, 57. 57 is not a prime number, children. 57 is also not a prime number. So what is our answer here? The remaining number is 53. So 53 becomes our smallest prime number greater than 50. Next, question 17. Which of the following is the greatest prime number less than 50? So we want a number which is less than 50. Option A is 50, so it cannot be the number. Yes, 49, 47, 43. All these are less than 50. And from that we need a prime number. Now 49 is not a prime number. No, yes, it has, apart from 1 and itself, it has 7 also as one of its factors. So it's not a prime number. Now coming to 47 and 43, children. Both are our prime numbers and both are less than 50. But among these, we want our greatest prime number. So between 47 and 43, 47 is the greater one. So 47 becomes our correct answer. Okay. Next question. What is the product of all the odd numbers between 3 and 8? Now what are odd numbers? Odd numbers are those which have 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 at the units place. Now what are all the odd numbers between 3 and 8? See, between 3 and 8 we have 4, 5, 6, 7. Now from these, 5 and 7 are our odd numbers. What is the product of this? 5 7s are 35. So option D, 35 becomes our correct answer. Understood, children? Yes. Next question 19. Identify the odd number immediately after 73,999. Now if you look at the number line or just simply the order of the numbers, we have 73,999. Then we have 74,000. Then comes 74,001. Then we have 74,002 and so on. Now immediately after 73,999 we have 74,000. Is it an odd number? No. Now after that we have 74,001. Is it an odd number? Yes. So 74,001 becomes our odd number immediately after 73,999. Okay, or else if you look at the options here, see, 73,997, it does not come after the given number, so it cannot be our answer. Again, even 990 does not come after 73,999, and 73,001 also comes before our given number but not after. And the only option remaining is option D, 74,001. Now coming to question number 20. What is the product of all even numbers between 3 and 7? Now again, what are the numbers between 3 and 7? 4, 5 and 6. Between 3 and 7 we have 4, 5 and 6. And from these, what are the even numbers? 4 and 6. What should we do? We should find the product. 4 into 6 is equal to 24. So option B, 24 becomes our correct answer. Understood, children? Next question 21. What is the sum of odd numbers between 5 and 12? Again, the numbers between 5 and 12 are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. From these, what are the odd numbers? 7, 9 and 11. 7 plus 9 becomes 16. 16 plus 11 becomes 27. So 27 is the sum of odd numbers between 5 and 12. Yes? Next, which is the greatest factor of a number? Now, if you look at the factors, children, say suppose the factors of the number 2. We have 1 and 2. For 3, we have 1 and 3. For 4, we have 1, 2 and 4. Yes, for 6, we have 1, 2, 3 and 6. Now, from this pattern, what do we observe? That the greatest factor is always the number itself. For any given number, what is the greatest factor? It is always the number itself. And what is the smallest factor of a number? Always 1 is the smallest factor of a number. So here option C, the number itself is the greatest factor of a number, children. If you get any doubt which is the correct answer, do like this. Write the factors of a few numbers and then observe which is the greatest factor in all the cases. Next question 23. Find the two factors of 31. Now 31 is a prime number, children. It has only two factors. Now what are the factors of a prime number? 1 and the number itself. Yes. So the two factors of 31 are option C, 31 and 1. Next question 24. What number should be added to 695 to make it divisible by 10? See, we have the number 695 and if we divide it by 10, we have 10 6 are 60. When we subtract 95, 10 9s are 90 and when we subtract 5 is remaining. Yes, children. So here the remainder is not 0. Now they are asking us, so what should be added to the number 695 to make it divisible by 10? Now in such cases, first step is to divide the number. Yes, we have divided. Now we have the remainder, right? Now subtract the remainder from the divisor. 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. What should we do? Listen to me carefully. We have the divisor and the remainder. Subtract. Subtract the remainder from the divisor. 10 minus 5 is equal to our 5. Now this 5 should be added to our dividend to make it divisible by 10. Understood? I am repeating again. What should we do when such a question is asked? First divide the number and see what is a remainder. Then subtract the remainder from the divisor. 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. Now when we add this 5 to our dividend, 695 plus 5, the sum will be 700. Now 700 is having 0 in the ones place. So it is completely divisible by 10. Understand? So for a number to be divisible, whenever they ask which number should be added to a certain number to make it divisible, first divide the number, find out the remainder, subtract the remainder from the divisor. That will give us the number that is to be added. So what is our answer here? Option D, 5. 5 should be added to 695 to make it divisible by 10. Understood, children? Next question 25. Which number should be subtracted from 642 to make it divisible by 8? See, in the previous question, they asked us which number should be added to make the number divisible. Now here they are asking us which number should be subtracted to make it divisible. Now again, we have to first divide the number from the given by the given divisor. We have 8 8s are 64 when we subtract 2 brought down. 8 zeros are 0 when we subtract 2 is our remainder, children. Yes, so what is our remainder? 2 is our remainder. So we can simply say that 2 must be subtracted from 642 to make it divisible by 8. Understood? To find out the number to be added, we subtracted the remainder from the divisor. Now to find out the number that should be subtracted, it is simply our remainder, children. Now here 2 is remaining. Yes, if we subtract the 2 from the dividend, what will we have? 642 minus 2 will give us 640. Now this is exactly divisible by 80. So by 8. 8 into 80 is equal to 640. Understood? For a number, let me tell it again. For a number, to find out the number that should be added, find out the remainder and then subtract the remainder from the divisor. Yes, divisor minus the remainder will give us the number that should be added. And when we need to find out the number that should be subtracted, it is nothing but our remainder. Now what was the remainder here? In 642 divided by 8, the remainder was 2. So option C, 2 should be subtracted from 642 to make it divisible by 8. Understood, children? Yes. And with this, we've come to the end of today's class. We'll discuss